Heather Boyd, you are an artist who creates beautiful jewelry, and you also have a YouTube channel with 193,000 subscribers. So I'm curious to know a little bit about your background as an artist, and also about how is it that you got started with your YouTube channel. I know you as an entrepreneur. I have met you at networking events, and I have always been curious about all the amazing things that you are doing. So thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me on this show, Alain. This is really exciting. We've known each other for a few years from different networking events, so it's nice to reconnect after a long and painful COVID few years. Yeah, so I've been on YouTube actually for 13 years, believe it
Wow.
or not. So it's been quite the journey. And just to backtrack how I got started, because what I do for people that don't know is I make wire art and jewelry tutorials. And that's exclusively what I do on that channel, the Heather Boyd Wire channel. And the reason that I make wire art and jewelry is because years ago, I studied fine art, so I have an art background. And then I was living in Toronto working as a graphic artist, and I decided I didn't like working for a boss. So I had started making different like hand painted buttons and hand painted artsy things. And I couldn't afford to live in Toronto, so I moved to Montreal because the cost of living was much lower. And I started selling on the streets of Montreal, different like weird stuff, very artsy things. And then towards the end of the summer, I met my husband who was making wire bicycles and selling them on the streets of Montreal. And I just clicked with the medium, and I love to draw. So it became sort of a natural thing for me to do, is to want to make things out of wire. And so that was in 1989. And we started a business making wire art and wire jewelry, selling at shows and then online when the online stuff came on. And then I love to teach. So I thought, well, why don't I just start doing some teaching online? And I hadn't really even thought about YouTube, but my daughter was really into YouTube at the time, and she was making her own videos online. And I thought, well, this is kind of fun. Maybe I'll try to film myself making jewelry and put it online. So I went to my friend's house, and she filmed me on her Panasonic camera, uploaded the video. It's still there. It's how to make fabric beads out of wire and fabric. And the video is still there, terrible quality. And for the first little while, I didn't even show my face. I was just like showing my hands, and not, I'm not someone that really likes to be in the spotlight. So I was just doing it very discreetly. And then I met a guy. I was in LA one time, and I was in line to go to see Jimmy Kimmel at the talk show. And this guy behind me, we were just chit-chatting, killing time. And he's in the film industry. And he said, Heather, if you want to get known, you have to show your face, right? So that's when I started, doing the intros, outros, showing my face, getting a little more out there. And just with time, posting regularly, and then just having a really consistent theme in what I was doing. Because at first I was doing arts and crafts, I was doing jewelry, I was doing different things. And then just gradually I realized I had to niche down, like really niche down. So which is where I'm at now, is doing the wire art and jewelry tutorials online.
Well, I speak a lot about entrepreneurship on my channel, and just the fact that you used to go out on the streets to sell your craft, I guess that require some self-confidence, or
Yes.
was it natural for you? Can you tell us about the mental talk that you were
Yeah.
having at that time? Oh my gosh, should I go to this fair, and should I
Yeah.
sell my craft? No, are people going to like it? Tell me
Yeah.
about all these inner conversations that you were having inside your head.
Yeah, it's funny because like I said, I've always been a pretty introverted person, but I think it was more desperation than anything. I really felt in my life I didn't have a lot of other choices because I wasn't comfortable in the work environment. I didn't really, because I'm very artsy, I didn't really think I fit in the kind of corporate world, or even in a job. And what choice did I have? Well, I didn't really have a choice. So I went and got a permit and started selling on the street. And I think I didn't really question it. I think I was pushed to do it because I really didn't see any other choices in my life. And then gradually with time, I got more comfortable and I got good feedback from people. And so it just, I think with anything with practice, you get more confident doing it. So that's kind of how that evolved.
So, what would you say to a person who is hesitating and putting off, making an offer, putting out there their services, their products, whatever? I mean, of course, there is a high probability of failure in everything that we do. So, this is the fear that holds us back most of the time on making an offer or,
Yeah.
just any product or service that we have out there.
Yeah, I think I have the mentality you've got nothing to lose. Like, I really always feel that if you don't try, it's very cliched, but it's true. If you don't try, you're not going to know what happened. And also, like, with regards to people putting themselves out on social media, because I know a lot of people that have a lot of potential to share their work online, but yet they're hesitant to do video or to show themselves or whatever. And I always tell people, don't worry, the internet has a very short memory span. So, and you can also delete content if you're ashamed of it later on, you can always delete things. But I think a lot of people are concerned about how they look, but in reality, everybody else in the world is worried about how they look. So, so I think that's if you think of it in those terms, just not to worry too much about what other people think, and you can always erase it or delete it after if you need.
Okay, so you told us that it was your daughter who came up with the idea of putting your art out there. Can you tell us about those early days? You said that you were not showing your face, you were just showing your hands. Did you had any expectation that your channel would grow, or it's just you just wanted to, I don't know, share it with the three friends that you may had at that time?
Yeah, I definitely didn't have any expectations. And in fact, at that time, I wasn't really aware of other channels doing the same thing. I think there were definitely jewelry making channels out there, but I didn't really look into it and search it. To me, I'd have to look back at some of my older videos, but I believe I was just, and it wasn't regular at all. Like, it was a video here and then wait a few weeks and do another one. And it was just a challenge to be able to teach people how to do things online and a way to kind of almost document what I was doing. But I definitely wouldn't have had any expectations at that time about getting known. And there are a lot of other channels that have a lot more subscribers than me, but there's a lot that have a lot less as well. So I would say I'm somewhere in the middle with regards to that type of channel type of
Right.
thing. And but I think I just love teaching. So for me, it was just a motivation to keep doing it.
Okay, well, I'm working on my own YouTube channel and I have 500 subscribers and I have begged my friends and family, oh, please subscribe,
Yeah.
subscribe. And I think maybe because I'm a great networker, maybe that's where the 500 subscribers come from.
Yeah.
But I wonder in your case, do you have to encourage your friend or family to help you out to get that first 100 subscribers, or was it all unknown people that were just curious about the work that you were doing?
Yeah, I don't remember soliciting my family or my friends to subscribe. It was more my kind of own side project. And because what I'm doing is very specific, like people are searching for jewelry making tutorials and craft tutorials. So I think it was easier for me because it was very clear what I was doing. And I think it's hard for a lot of entrepreneurs if you don't have a really specific, like if you have a really strong persona or a very specific style or something, then you'll have people kind of gravitate towards you type of thing. But I think the key is to find something like really something that is good to do is say, look at your most popular video type of thing, and then
Right.
just work from there. And I think that's what I did at first. I did videos for a couple of years, and then I actually took a course with a woman, and this is someone that I shout out all the time if you want YouTube help. Is her name is Sunny Lenarduzzi. I'll send you her link. But
Please.
her channel used to be all about helping people grow their YouTube channels. She had online course called YouTube for Bosses, and I took her course and I learned a lot about finding out what works on your channel and, you know, amplifying that. What she's doing now is more, she actually teaches people how to run a business, like how to run a course business, teaching. So any kind of subject, it could be veterinarians, it could be lawyers, real estate agents, artists. She works with all kinds of people, but now instead of teaching people how to monetize their YouTube channel, she teaches people how to use YouTube as a tool to promote their business. So
Right.
it's kind of flip-flop like that. And I mean, personally, I see a lot more potential for that for entrepreneurs, to not consider YouTube to be a money-making machine, but a way to generate people business for your own business, what you're doing currently. So, because really, in terms of AdSense, it takes a lot of subscribers and a lot of views to make any amount of revenue. For that, like I remember when I first monetized my channel, probably 10 years ago or more. And I remember getting my first check from Google for 48 cents. And I was thinking, oh my God. I mean, I was really happy to get any money at all, but it's you get kind of paid per clicks and per reviews. So it's definitely not a short-term goal. I mean, for some people it can be a long-term goal, but you can use your YouTube channel to generate income in other ways as well.
Great. And in your case, do you had a particular video that maybe put you up there, or has it always been a slow and progressive growth?
Yes, yes, absolutely. And that's something that Sunny would talk about in her course, is to find out what of your videos work the best and then double down on it. And I very quickly realized that my ring making videos were the most popular ones. And then I also did a whole bunch of videos about how to make jewelry out of paper clips. And if I look at my stats, like the top 10 videos are making jewelry out of paper clips. Like it's pretty insane. So it's very obvious what attracts people to my channel. And so my top video is how to make a double heart ring out of paper clips. And it has 4 million views, I guess, on it for
I
that
just watched it.
video.
I went to search the most popular
Yes.
videos, and that one came right on top.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really insane. So it's pretty obvious what people want to see on my channel. And sure, I could just like make paperclip tutorials, but it's boring for me. Like I want to be able to do other things. So even though I could probably have more success with my channel if I just made it all about paper clips, it's not what I want to do. Like I really
Right.
want to do the other types of jewelry as well. So you have to kind of find a balance there.
Okay, and you said that at the beginning you were doing random videos from time to time. They were not even good quality.
Yeah.
Uh, so, at what moment in your life you decided, okay, I think I'm going to give this a serious try? When
Yes.
was that, or what was the motivation, or and how did you develop a strategy from that moment that you said, I'm gonna do this
Yeah.
more seriously?
Yeah. Well, interestingly enough, I started really taking it more seriously when I met some people through Patrick, who Patrick Balian is someone, our mutual friend that used to run a networking group in Montreal. So I met a few people in his at his events that were videographers, and they were helping people with their videos. At the time, they were students, these guys, and they had their own business helping people with their video. And so I didn't have a huge budget for it, but I knew it was worth my while. So I invested in hiring them for an afternoon to help me with my work. So they had a professional camera, the mics, the lights, the everything, the music. So we did a video together where they filmed me and they helped edit and all that. And from there, I learned what I needed tools wise, because that's important. So I got a better camera, better mic, better lights. And then that's when I would say that I've started taking it a lot more seriously. And I don't remember if it was before or after that, but I created a schedule. So like I upload I have something called Tip Tuesday. So that's every Tuesday, the same time. And then a Saturday video. And then every Wednesday I go live. So going live helps a lot, a lot. If you want to build your channel and get more watch time, because you need $4,000 or 4,000 hours of watch time to be able to monetize.
Right.
I don't know if it's the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same now, but you need, I think, 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of watch time to be allowed to
You need
monetize.
both.
You need both. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So going live helps that because for some reason it just increases your watch time, maybe because you're on for longer. But so I always advise people if it's suitable for your channel, go live, have a Q&A, interview people live or do whatever, it's definitely worthwhile.
So you mean this conversation that we are having right now? I could have said live at 8 o'clock. Heather
Yeah,
will reveal her YouTube secrets or something like that, and that
you
could have been
could.
a live conversation.
You could, as long as I don't do anything ridiculous that you have to edit out. That might be an issue.
Okay, that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
And okay, so from the time that you decided, okay, I'm going to take YouTube serious, and do you first of all, that's a rigorous schedule that you have. I guess you didn't start with that schedule
No,
right from the beginning. You have
no.
built up little by little. So
Yes.
so can you tell us about the schedule that you had once you decided to take this YouTube seriously? And of course now we know where you are, but how do you build it little by little?
With the schedule,
Yes.
Uh, well, the schedule, I guess it just evolved because I was only doing videos maybe once a week or once every couple of weeks or just not on a regular basis. But that is also something that in this course that I took, they really emphasize that people like predictability. They want to know when to expect to see your video. And so that's when I started doing the scheduling. I just, and it's easier for me. Like it's not just for the other people. It just makes it easier for me to have a deadline to know when I have to upload. And I have to admit, I've been a little more slack with the live streams because what I realized, this is really recent, I realized that the live streams that I do, as much as, because I don't need to increase my watch time anymore, but I found that they were taking away a little bit from the regular tutorials because they're pretty drawn out. Like it's the live streams are basically me troubleshooting a design. So I do a few sketches. I come on, I say, hey, today I'm going to make, I don't know, Easter jewelry. So I have the sketches and I'm troubleshooting. So I'm making mistakes. I'm starting over and doing like, but people like the process because they're seeing the creative process of me figuring out the design, which is great. But the people that come on my channel to watch paperclip videos don't want to see me struggling for 2 hours making these designs. So I've opened a new channel called Wire Lady TV that's just hosting the live streams.
Okay.
So I haven't seen the effect on my channel yet, but for sure it's better because it's not taking away from the regular tutorials.
Okay, well, now, can a person make a living making YouTube videos? I mean, with all the subscribers that you have and the rigorous schedule that you
Mhm.
have, I mean, you told us that you started with 40 cents 10 years
Yeah.
ago. I don't know where you are and how comfortable are you sharing what's happening financially with your YouTube channel?
Well, I won't give you a number, but it's definitely, I'm not making a living at it. I make a decent amount per month, but it's not enough to live on. So I would recommend for people not to have too high expectations about making 100% living on YouTube because I do other things to generate income. I mean, I sell my jewelry on
Right,
Etsy.
right.
The other thing I've been doing recently is I sell templates. So I sell the patterns and the little ebooks and things that accompany the YouTube videos. Like the YouTube videos stand alone, but if you want more support and more direction, I have the templates. So that's in another shop. And then I actually uploaded a ebook to Amazon, which is like similar, like jewelry instruction book. So I do make a bit of revenue from that as well. So, and But not just that, I also have I'm sponsored by Beetalon, which is a wire company.
Right.
So I do sponsored posts through them, and so I have a income through them, and then also Amazon affiliates. So there's four income streams from YouTube. I guess in theory, if I push them even more, I could probably do a full-time living with it. But I like to sell my jewelry too. So there's only so many hours in the day. You have to kind of decide what you want to focus on.
Okay, but this is quite revealing because, of course, if I open my YouTube channel, I mean my YouTube whatever, um, I am bombarded with all these people saying, "Oh, you can make a gazillion dollars if you just
Mm,
start your YouTube channel today. This is a
yeah.
secret formula. Buy
Oh,
my $5, I don't know, secret formula, and I'll tell you all the secrets." And then they have all
yeah.
these testimonials of all these gazillionaires with their Lamborghinis from their YouTube channel. So you are telling me that
Yeah.
that's not true?
It's definitely it's not the rule, it's the exception. It's definitely the exception. Like I think especially for people that are just working as a regular entrepreneur, unless you have something that's extremely trendy or extremely like the most popular YouTubers are there's Mr. Beast
Right.
gives away like $10,000 and he does these huge things and he's like super popular, or PewDiePie, who's someone that does reviews of Reddit and all kinds of random stuff. So these are people that become viral, usually with the younger crowd, you know.
Right.
So I think for a regular, you know, say any of the regular entrepreneurs that I know in Montreal, I don't know, like there are some that went kind of viral. There was that group, I forget their name. I met them at a networking event. They did comedy skits.
Okay.
And I know one of the three has become really popular on YouTube, but these are people that have almost a cult following. So I think to give people the impression they're going to be rich on YouTube is it's false hopes.
I see. Okay, well, thank you. That's quite revealing. Okay,
Yeah.
well, now I wonder if any of the viewers, me included, are thinking of taking YouTube seriously. What are two or three tips that you could give us in order to get started?
Well, I would definitely do a lot of research. I would follow certain YouTube channels that give advice for entrepreneurs. Like I said, there's Sunny Lenarduzzi who teaches people how to run online education courses, but using YouTube as a form of promotion. Like, so
Right.
it's all intertwined. There is Vanessa Lau, who's also used to specialize in Vanessa. So there's a few YouTubers you can follow to get inspiration. But just from my experience, I would say if you have a YouTube channel, have a look and see what resonates the most with people. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you just think about what you can do to add value to people's lives. You know, what can you, because YouTube is all about educating people and or entertaining people. So you could think about what route you want to go. Do you want to entertain people? Do you want to teach them something? Is there something that you can offer people? Like when I think about successful channels, like there was a channel that does that sells a product to fix your like countertops in your kitchen. So they have like hugely viral videos like teaching people how to renovate and fix their counters, and then they sell products to go with it. So you can think in terms of, if you're going to start a channel, are you also selling something, and how does that work? You know,
Right.
how are you going to work with that? Hmm.
Wow. Okay. So all this amazing, all this information has been super interesting to me. Uh, any place where the viewers can find out more about you?
Yes, well, you can follow my YouTube on at Heather Boyd Wire. It's more for YouTube tutorials. I'm, perfectly happy if people want to email me for any, tips or whatever. All that information is on my YouTube channel, and I do a lot of different things. I also write comics, so if people want to know that, if you're doing one thing online and you have a certain persona for that, you can also be doing other things. Like I write really silly, quirky meme comics, and I have sort of a little mini cult following for those comics on another channel, and not a channel that's on Instagram and Facebook. So just to say, you don't always have to box yourself in. You can just, do a bunch of different things. But if you are starting a channel, you want that particular channel to be pretty niche and pretty, pretty clear. Yeah, for sure.
Well, Heather, thank you so much for your time. You have been amazing.
Oh, I'm so happy. That's so funny. I'm just very happy to share my experience. And like, if anyone has any questions, just let me know.
Well, we will be seeing you soon in
Yes,
a speech that you will be giving at our solopreneurs meetup. So thank you so much again.
my pleasure. Take care.